Now let's take a look at how to add that kind of like stronger vintage effect to your photos.
This video is brought to you by ObbyPies Academy.
I removed the curves adjustment layer, but I left the duplicated background layer right here. What we need to do in order to give a stronger vintage effect to our photos, we need to add another layer. So I'm simply going to click on this create new layer icon, just like so, and you can see that we have like a blank layer right here. And what we need to do is we need to fill it with with a color. So we already know how to do that. We simply need to go to our foreground color. I'm going to double click on it, and the color that we are looking for is this kind of a blue color. It would be great. I mean, it works best if it's kind of a saturated blue color and a bit lighter, and it looks something like that. What we need to do right now is we need to fill this layer with this blue color. So I'm simply going to use the ever so handy shortcut of Alt plus Backspace or Option Backspace if you're on a Mac. And you can see that right now we filled the entire layer, the entire canvas with our blue color, with our saturated blue color. So what we need to do right now is we need to make our background copy layer visible, and we can do that, we are going to do that in two ways. First of all, we are going to take care of something that is called the blending mode, and we will talk about it more in another part of this series. So for this video, let's just change the blending mode to exclusion. This is this guy right here. So remember to simply change the blending mode to exclusion, and you can see that it's producing kind of like a negative effect to our photo. And what we need to do is we need to lower the opacity quite significantly to around, maybe let's go, maybe not 11, but let's see 30%, just like so, maybe 25. You can play around with the opacity all day long. I mean, the strength of this effect is going to depend on your eye. It's going to be up to you. How strong do you want it to be? Now, what we can do with this effect is we can target our background copy layer, we can add the curves adjustment layer, and we can now play around with the contrast if you want. So we can create that S curve that we learned in the previous video. So I'm going to make the lights even lighter, and I'm going to make the dark spots even darker to bring that contrast just a bit up. So this is our original, and these are all our effects. And by the way, if you are wondering how am I turning the visibility of all these layers off and leaving just our original layer, I'm simply clicking on it by holding down the Alt or Option if you're on a Mac key. So Alt click on this eyeball, and I'm gonna just leave this background copy on, just like so. So this is our vintage effect added to this image. So, but as I said, we are going to get different results with different photos. So let me just go to another image. As you can see, I got the background copy layer. I left it. I just removed the curves adjustment layer. So again, I'm just gonna create a new layer. I still got my blue color right here. I'm simply going to hit Alt Backspace or Option Backspace if you're on a Mac. I'm gonna turn the blending mode to exclusion and drop the opacity down to something like maybe 30% again. Let me just see what it looks like. That might be even a bit too much, so let's go with 25. And I think that already we got some nice retro effect. It looks like a nice retro postcard, don't you think? I think it looks really nice. And again, we can play around with the contrast if we want to. We can go to the curves adjustment layer and create that gentle S line, just like so, to maybe bring that contrast just a bit up. So this is our original, and this is our vintage effect. So just to wrap this effect up, I'm gonna go to our bicycle image, and again I'm gonna create a new layer, fill it with blue, change the blending mode to exclusion, drop the opacity quite significantly, 27, maybe 27 should do. And again, if we want, I'm gonna go with the curves adjustment layer and create that gentle S curve, just like so. So this is our original, and this is our vintage effect created in a matter of just a few clicks, just like that. So I hope you like these techniques. I hope that I'm going to see an abundance of retro effects in our project section of this course. So actually, this was the last video in this how to make your photos look great course. Of course, there is still one more to go, which will be me taking that design challenge. So if you want to me struggling with the design, well, not really struggling, but if you want to see me doing the design challenge, well, you can in the next video.